So hey nerds, this is Suman, and recently I had made a video that where I had tagged veritasium to recheck my theorem. In that video, I'm sharing my idea how the Zeeman shift is done, and many people actually appreciate my work, and some people actually suggest me to do the corrections in my vector algebra. So I'm making this video just. And putting new idea in the same Zeeman effect that I have done previously. So thanks for supporting and thanks for appreciating my work, and thanks for correcting me also in my mathematics in vector algebra. So I would be happy if someone corrected me, and I had read all the comments that you have comment down in that comment section, and some of the people are actually appreciating and some people are actually suggesting me, and I would take this as very much positive response, because in order to share better idea you have to think very much deeper into that concept. So thanks for suggestions, thanks for suggestion, and thanks for appreciation. And I'm making another video in Zeeman shift effect, where I had compared my idea with quantum mechanical idea, and if someone people with particular field is working on Zeeman shift, you can actually check upon my idea and do experiments. And one thing I hadn't mentioned in later my video, that the total energy of electron is negative, and I think it obey Planck's radiation law, and this is my assumption, right? So let us dive into a new journey of Zeeman shift. Let us dive into the whiteboard. So in order to get the better intuition about Zeeman shift and the frequency shift, let us assume the classical idea of atom. The nucleus is at center, whether it is oscillating or it is moving, it doesn't matter. And this could be the electron, and the velocity of electron could be in any direction. We don't actually know. So it could be in clockwise direction or it could be in counterclockwise direction, right? So when we apply magnetic field perpendicular to this, actually when we apply magnetic field, right, we apply magnetic field here. So when we apply magnetic field, the magnetic field would be in inward direction, right. So if you know the Lorentz formula, Fm, let me see if this is coming or not. So it is coming. The Lorentz formula, or the magnetic force on a charged particle, is given by q v cross b vector, right. So the velocity could be in this direction. If the velocity is in this direction and magnetic field is inward, v cross b gives a magnetic force in upward direction, right. And if the velocity is in this direction, if the particle velocity is in this direction, the v cross b gives you magnetic field in downward direction of same magnitude, because the field is constant over the time, right. So if you know the particle will exhibit circular motion, the centripetal force is acting upon towards the center, and you already know this is due to the electrostatic force when the field is not applied. And when the field is applied, again it will revolve in a circular motion. So now you can see from here clearly that the net force on a particle is centripetal force plus minus magnetic force. Why I am using plus minus magnetic force? Because the magnetic force can support centripetal force, or if the velocity is in that direction, the magnetic field can oppose that particle, right. Look up to here. If they are in same direction, the forces are supporting each other. If they are in opposite direction, they are just opposing each other, right. So this magnetic, when you apply the magnetic field in that orbit, the electron angular velocity will shift slightly. I am assuming that. And the new term will be mr omega square plus d omega square. So why I am using this? I know that the mr omega square is in equilibrium. When the magnetic field is not applied, the electrostatic force is actually mr omega square. So when the magnetic field is applied, there will be some shifting energy. Due to the shifting energy, the angular frequency of particle will shift. So there will be new angular velocity. Let us assume omega dash square, if you did not get my point, right. So I am writing omega dash is the older omega plus there will be some change in omega. So that's why this term came out. So if you take plus sign, the magnetic force and centripetal force are supporting each other, and if you take negative sign, the magnetic force and centripetal force are opposing each other, right? So are you getting the point, and are you with me? Sorry for the background noise, I do not have proper setup here. So the centripetal force is nothing but mr omega square under equilibrium, right? The under equilibrium condition, this is the centripetal force, and this is plus minus bev equals mr omega plus d omega whole square, because the omega dash is nothing but omega plus d omega. So mr omega square plus minus bev is nothing mr, and when you open this bracket you will end up getting this much quantity. So if you know the omega d omega is very small quantity, suppose it is 0.01, and if you square this you will again end up getting more smaller value. So you can neglect this term, right? And you will end up getting mr omega square plus minus EBV and mr omega square plus 2mr omega d omega. So the mr omega square will cancel out each other, right? So plus minus EBV could be 2m, and the r omega is nothing but the linear velocity of particle, right? D omega. So this would be plus minus EBV and 2mv. The d omega can be written as 2 pi f, right? If there is change in angular velocity, there will be correspondingly some change in frequency of particle. Plus minus EBV upon, and this is, if you can take out 2 pi from derivatives, right? So it will be 4 pi mv, and this is df, right? So change in frequency will be EBV by 4 pi mv, right? So I am assuming, let me do the whole bunch of physics, how this energy shift will be 0, and how we will get the constant photon, and in order to make the better result, I have to make some better assumptions. So I am doing all bunches of scenario, right? So the linear velocity of particle will cancel out each other, and I am assuming the total shift in energy, this will be the shift in energy, and I am multiplying both sides by h, ehb upon 4 pi m, right? And here is plus minus. So I am using negative sign here, and this plus minus will, I guess, change to minus plus. I am not doing vectors, I know. The total change in energy, the change in energy in presence of magnetic field is this much, and you can write this bunches of term as plus minus Bohr's magneton time magnetic field. You can see here. So change in energy is plus minus mu bb b. So this would be the change in energy, right? This would be the change in energy. And let me do here. If you do not, when b vector is equal to 0, so that means we are not applying energy to we are not applying energy. So we are not applying magnetic field. Then when electron jumps from higher energy state to lower energy state, it will emit a photon, right? So when b vector does not equal to 0, so means we are applying magnetic field across that field, so the energy will change up to E2 dash becomes E2 plus this small shift in energy, that is dE2, and E1 dash will change to E1 plus dE1, right? So E2 dash minus E1 dash gives you the new photon. So E2 dash minus E1 dash, E2 minus E1 plus dE2 minus D1. Are you with me? I am just subtracting that term. And this will end up giving you a new photon of another frequency, and this is nothing but h nu naught is from here. And if you take let's look up here, the dE2 and dE1 is same. The dE2 and dE1 is same, and this will cancel out each other. If you take plus here, you will end up getting this, and if you take dE2, you will end up getting this. So the energy would be 0, and you will get a frequency of constant. You will end up getting a constant frequency of photon. So right, so this might not have to be true, because when external magnetic field is applied to the atom, you have to see, you can see the 3 spectrum lines, or more than 3 spectrum lines. So what is happening here? So why, instead of getting 3 spectral lines, we are just getting a single photon. So this thing I have to correct here. So now I am correcting here. So I only take this result, right? I only take this result, dE, the change in energy within a particular orbit in presence of magnetic field is plus minus Bohr's magneton times magnetic field. So I am getting this, right? So I hope you have got some idea, because I am doing some bunches of creepy mathematics, right? So how can I tackle this? So how can I tackle this? So in order to tackle this, I know dE equals plus minus mu b, right? Right? So if I multiply up and down by velocity of electron, I will end up getting this term, and dE equals plus minus mu b VB upon VB upon B. So there will be a one term. So if you know, E vector can be velocity vector can be replaced by E vector by B vector. So if you're gonna talk in terms of magnitude, VB can be replaced by electric field. So do you know that concept? Why I'm using electric field here? Because this magnetic field induces some electric field within that current loop. When you apply a magnetic field, there will be some induced EMF, and then if you have induced EMF, there will be a corresponding field around that loop. So the product of magnitude of VB can be written as induced electric field. So I can write dE is plus minus mu b E. E means the induced electric field, and this E is change in energy. So I am mentioning it, change in energy, and this is induced electric field, right? This is induced electric field. So here we have V, right? Induced electric field, right? Now I'm getting something very much interesting. So now you can actually apply radiation law. So when you do not have magnetic field, when electron jumps from higher energy state to lower energy state, you will end up getting a single photon, right? So now when you apply magnetic field, this must be the energy shift. So E2 dash be the new energy in presence of magnetic field. That would be E1 plus E2 plus dE2, right? And E1 dash is E1 plus dE1, right? So I am doing E2 dash minus E1 dash is E2 minus E1 plus dE2 minus dE1. Look. So this would give you a new frequency, h nu. This will be the energy shift in presence of magnetic field, change in energy, right? And this is just this equation holding this term, nu naught, plus. So you can write dE2. So if you take E2, there will be E2 induced electric field in second orbit having corresponding velocity V2. So you can write, if you take E2, you have to write plus minus mu b E2 upon V2, right? And minus plus minus mu b E1 upon V1 correspondingly, right? So h nu equals h nu naught. Nu naught is the single constant frequency of photon when there is no external field. And you can take plus minus mu b common, and here will be E2 by V2 minus E1 by V1, right? Are you getting my point? So nu equals nu naught plus minus mu b upon h, E2 by V2 minus E1 by V1. So this is a very beautiful result that I am getting. So I am not doing vector algebra here. So many people are suggesting me that I have done very much wrong. So I would like to say very much sorry for that thing. So I end up with a beautiful result that the new frequency of photon would be nu naught plus minus mu b, the Bohr's magneton, and E2 by V2 minus E1 by V1. So the induced field in second orbit by velocity in second orbit, induced field in first orbit by velocity in first orbit. So now again I am replacing this bunches of scenario with magnetic field. And how am I going to do? I know the velocity is nothing but the ratio of electric field by magnetic field. So the induced electric field, look up to here. So B can be written as E by V. So the induced electric field within second orbit, let us assume it is E2. So induced electric field in second orbit by velocity of second orbit can be replaced by an equivalent magnetic field within that orbit. This electric field produces an equivalent. This electric field by velocity can be replaced by equivalent magnetic field. It is called B2, and the B1 is nothing but E1 by V1. Right? So nu can be replaced as nu naught plus minus mu b B2 minus B1, the equivalent magnetic field in second orbit and equivalent magnetic field in first orbit, right? So this is the beautiful result. Here H, sorry, I haven't. Are you getting my point? Why I am using B2 by B21 minus B1? Because this is the game of splitting of magnetic fields, splitting of magnetic energy levels. So I am using this concept. So the ratio can be written as B2 and B1. So there will be always some change in magnetic field within second orbit and first orbit, which cause the frequency to change due to the change in magnetic field within the current loop, within the orbit. So I am comparing my idea with quantum mechanical idea. So the idea of quantum mechanical idea, the quantum mechanical idea also rely on same fact. The nu of photon equals nu naught plus minus mu b, the magnetic field. How much this is not the applied magnetic field. This is the equivalent magnetic field, please. And this is the applied magnetic field according to quantum mechanical idea, and this is the delta ml. So delta ml is change in magnetic quantum number. Are you getting my point? So if you compare this idea and this idea, if this both idea, if let us assume this both idea are same for any instance. So if you compare this whole scenario, you will end up getting B applied magnetic field times delta ml is nothing but change in equivalent magnetic field, B2 minus B1. Right? Look, if my idea has to be right, and it indeed has to follow this phenomena, the difference in magnetic field must have to be this much. And the value of delta ml is 0 plus minus 1. If the delta ml is 0, you will end up getting a single photon. And the B2 minus B1 would be same, and I will also get the single photon. If delta ml is equal to 1, you will end up getting a frequency of photon. If delta ml is 1, B applied, it can be written as B applied. Here you can apply B applied. So please, if any researcher in this particular field is watching this video, please do experiment in my idea also. Whether I am right or wrong, I don't know. I just want to check my theorem and my idea. So thank you. And if you guys got some idea, make sure to tag veritasium.